What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Joey from the So Wizard Podcast. I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Adam Wallyhawk.
Glad to be back.
And we're here to review for you a little special thing we got to watch a little bit early, thanks to our friends at Amazon Studios. And that is The Boys Diabolical. It's the new animated series set in the Boys universe. It's a series of different episodic stories. It's an anthology set in the Boys universe, and we got an early look at it. We're going to tell you what we thought, and we're going to try to keep it as non-spoiler as possible, just so you don't have to get anything ruined, but you can know if it's worth checking out. So before we get into it, of course, we've got to thank Amazon Studios for giving us an early look at the series. And we're going to jump in, man. Adam Wallyhawk, you a big fan of The Boys.
I love it. I have only watched the show. I've not read the comics, but I love the show. I'll eat up anything they give. And this was a really cool surprise because I didn't know this exact thing was coming, especially not so soon.
Yeah, I'm at the same boat, man. I actually read all the comics as they were released. I loved it. And the TV show is awesome. Huge fan. 2 seasons so far, both of them top tier, 5 out of 5 stuff for me. So I was pretty excited to see that there was going to be spinoffs and different things going on in universe. And then this fell across our desk, and here we are. I thought it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. It was fun. But what did you think?
I've said it many times across the YouTube channel, probably on the main podcast as well, but I love an anthology series. I think it's a great way to dive into things and to get different takes on the same kind of subject.
Yeah, no doubt. And this has a lot of different takes, a lot of different animation styles, and a lot of different tone styles. Mostly it's all humorous, though, I would say. If you're going in looking for that The Boys type of humor, so you know what you're getting into, you sit down and watch something set in this franchise, The Boys, you kind of know what you're getting in terms of content and humor. So it does kind of stick in that, and not in a bad way. Don't take it the wrong way, but it definitely sticks in that. So you know what you're getting, and you know it's going to be good. And that pretty much nails it, man. It nails it right on the head with the feel of all these vignettes of kind of like right in that Boys universe again. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Was there anything that you liked that kind of stuck out more than others from it, though?
You mean like favorite episodes, or just in general what their take?
It's a big thing. We got 8 episodes.
Yep.
And they're all different creators that all made them. So
yeah, that I thought was really cool. Not only the anthology within the stories, but that each anthology episode is completely different team, different voice actors, and they got huge name talent across the board, and still produced by the same people who produced the live action version. As far as favorite episodes, Justin Roiland did one, who people probably know the name. He made Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites. And if you're a Rick and Morty fan, which I think pretty much anyone who's seen Rick and Morty is, you know what you're getting into with it. So I don't think it's a huge spoiler, but he does a take on it. I love the story he goes for and how he can have fun playing in this kind of screwed up universe they made with his own weird sense of humor. And it does that kind of improvised feeling that Rick and Morty has, even though it's obviously scripted, it's animated, but his sense of humor translates so well into the Boys universe. That one by far stood out to me.
I did enjoy that one. That was really funny. We're going to try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. I'm going to keep saying that to you so you don't get scared off and run away. We're going to try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. For me, a lot of the enjoyment from this came from just watching it and not knowing what was coming next. I wasn't even looking at the episode titles. I was just letting it roll. And every time something would happen, I was just continually being shocked by what I was seeing, and laughing as well at a lot of the things that we were seeing. My favorite episode is BFFs, which is the one by Aquafina.
I had a feeling.
As you all know, or you may not know, on our podcast, we were huge Aquafina stans. So right off the bat, I seen the name in the credits. I was like, all right, this is already my favorite episode. But it was absolutely hilarious. It took turns I was not expecting in any way, shape, or form. It did things I had never seen in an animated show I'd watched before. Maybe other people watch different kind of shows, so they'd seen something like that, but I'd never seen anything like that before. And it was hilarious. I was rolling with the different things that were happening in that episode. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, and not in a bad way. I was just like, I like, what is going to happen next in this? That is absolutely ridiculous.
What I really appreciate about that one was, given the subject matter, and I don't want to give it away because it makes it that much funnier.
Right.
Every time I'm like, okay, but if they keep doing this, it's going to go too far and stop being funny. And then they double down and it stays funny. And then they go even further and they do that like 8 times in 15 minutes. And I really hung in there on it, even though I'm not the biggest Aquafina fan. And generally, I would think they could ruin what it was about by going too far, but she nailed it.
Yeah. No, definitely. And there's a couple episodes that have not so funny tones either. There's
Mhm.
the one about the elderly Asian couple. There's one about Homelander's kind of first day on the job. So there are other episodes that aren't just wacky and funny, but for the most part, I thought this was hilarious. I really enjoyed watching it. I was having a good time watching it. There was never really a time when I was just like, oh, this is too much, man. I can't watch this right now. It's put me in a weird mood or a weird place. I was just really enjoying it. So.
Yeah, just to be fair, there was one where they were using hard swearing as the punchline to pretty much every joke. And that was the only time I was kind of like, all right, let's move it along. Not that I care about swearing, especially when it comes to the boys, but it was just like, do better. Like, you can write a better joke than
Mhm.
just throwing in, the F bomb, and that makes it all hilarious. But that was the only one. And I didn't hate the episode. It was just kind of like, "Yeah, all right, let's see what else you got." And that was the
Yeah,
only time that the show kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
there's definitely no episodes at all where I was like, okay, when is this over? What's the next episode going to be about? And there's been a couple of these type of anthology series. I think Star Wars Visions came out in the last year, and there were episodes of that I loved, and there were episodes of that where I was looking at my watch within
Yeah.
like 5 minutes of it starting. So I never got that feeling from this show at all. I enjoyed every single episode, so some a lot more than others, but there was never one where I was like, oh well, this sucks, I'll skip that one. I'm not going to watch the rest of this one. Never had that happen to me the entire time I was watching it. So
And what I liked about this as an anthology, just to take Star Wars Visions as the most recent comparison, and you and I both covered that one together as well.
yeah.
This wasn't all one animation style either. Each
Mhm.
studio got to go off and do their style. Like, the first one looks like an old like Warner Brothers cartoon,
Yeah.
and then you go into Justin Roiland's universe. Then there were some anime styled ones, and they just ran the gamut on animation, which I also loved because you got to see a little bit from everybody.
Yep. Yeah, it was good to see all sorts of different styles in there represented. And even though it really did all fit in the boys universe, each vignette, the ones that had humor, there, like I said, there were a few that were more serious, but the ones that had humor, while they all fit in that kind of mold of what you're expecting, it's all different styles as well, too. And it kind of fit what you feel when you watch it. If you have that kind of sense of humor that hits with that certain episode, you might love it more than somebody else that doesn't. Like, my favorite episode isn't going to be Adam's favorite episode, but it all worked out. We did still enjoy the same episodes, just not as much as each other. So,
Yeah, and it was cool to explore more of the boys universe without it um, not filling in blanks. Like, we've talked about it before. I think we talked about it in the last Star Wars talk we did, where Star Wars has this thing where every rock and twig in the background needs a 40 novel backstory. So it doesn't quite
oh
go
god,
that deep, but you do still get more of the world without it feeling like an information dump, which I thought was a
hmm
really cool approach too.
and none of it. And yes, in the boys, I mean, everything kind of has to flow out of the central conceit that Compound V coming from Vought is going to make the superheroes. But I never felt that this show is making the universe smaller, where I
Mhm.
get a lot of that from some other types of content of other universes that we cover on the show, where it seems like everybody, no matter who you see in the background or in the distance or that guest stars or appears, all have to be somehow related into this single central plot. And it does kind of make the universe feel a little smaller. It definitely did not do that for this. It actually made it feel a little more expansive. We're seeing other facilities and other projects and things that we weren't getting any information on in the main show. And of course, most of them are played for laughs, but it's still enjoyable. It's still funny. So
Yeah, that's a really good point too. I didn't really realize they did that because they did it so right until you're pointing it out.
yeah, it's definitely something that maybe in the future different boys spinoffs might end up falling into that same trap, but at least for this first one, it didn't. So that I was appreciative of that. And I think that's just kind of the landscape of where we are with everything. Everything now is a franchise. Everything has multiple parts and spinoffs. It just what you're going to do with it. And so far, we're one for one with the main show, and now we're one for one with the spinoff. So right now, I'm all in on Boys Universe.
And I kind of like the universe approach with things like this because we get a season of The Boys, and if it drops all at once, you or I are through it in a day or two. Like we're
Yep.
just sitting down and we're watching it as long as we're able to watch it. And then you have to wait a year or two for the next season because you're not spreading 25 episodes out over 25 weeks like you would with traditional TV,
Mhm.
where, it's 6 months on, 6 months off. So to be able to fill in the blanks like this while the core team is still working on the core story, I think it kind of like gives us best of both worlds.
It definitely does. Much like Hannah Montana does give you the best of both worlds. Was there anything you didn't like about the show? I mean, I know there is the tendency for people to say, hey, you got a free screener from Amazon. You're going to give it a tongue bath with your tongue on its balls because you don't want to lose access. So, was there anything you didn't like about it? Because we've been gushing for about 11 minutes
Yeah, we,
now.
we
So,
tend to do that, don't we? The only things that really rubbed me the wrong way were the overuse of hard swearing instead
mhm,
of writing clever punchlines. And I'm not sure if this is going to come out weekly or all at once, but either way, with just 12-minute episodes and only 8 of them, you're through this in an hour anyway.
mhm.
I guess that's not a negative about the series as much as what's this content for? Like, if you get one a week, are you going to wait a week and really be anticipating your 12 minutes of entertainment? Or are you just going to kind of get to it when you get to it?
hmm yeah, in terms of release schedule, I don't know. I know the main series usually will drop a few on the first day and then one a week afterwards, which I kind of feel is like the best way to drop things nowadays. If you drop it
Hmm.
all at once, everybody watches it on, I don't know, Thursday at 3 a.m. And then by Monday,
Yeah.
you're
When's the
done. You're
next
on to the
season?
new thing. Nobody's even talking about it. So at least you spread it out. When you have something cool like the boys, it keeps people talking the whole time. What's the storyline? What's going on? Did you see this crazy thing that happened? What's going to happen next week? So that's really my favorite way of things releasing. But you're right. Vignettes is things you can watch in between, or when you get 5 seconds on your phone or whatnot. That's probably the best way to watch it for me. I didn't really have any complaints. I can see where you're coming from with the swearing, but I mean that's really the franchise. That's what it is. It's going to be a lot of
Yeah. And,
profanity.
and just to, I don't know if I made it clear enough, but I don't have a problem with the fact that they swore in a cartoon or they swore on The Boys. It's just when you're trying to write it for comedy and that's the only punchline you have, it just feels
Mhm.
lazy.
Okay. Yeah. And the only other thing is I don't have a cat girlfriend from Magic face cream. So that's the other disappointment, I guess. You'll see. So, I mean, if we're going to score it, we're going to score it out of 5. That's how we do it on the show. 0 to 5, 5 being the best, 0 being the worst. Adam Walliock, what do you got for The Boys, Diabolical?
Um, at the risk of people just saying that we're just sucking up to Amazon, it's a 5.
All right. 5. Awesome. All right. All right. I'm probably going to go like a 4. I think I'll go 4. I really, really enjoyed it. I really would suggest everyone check it out. And it's not a huge time commitment. Like Adam said, it's an hour and 15 minutes to watch the entire season as it stands right now. So you're not exactly putting yourself out there. I'm not telling you to go check out 15 seasons of CWDC stuff that are all 24 episodes each. It's an hour commitment. You already like The Boys. You're going to love it. It's hilarious. Check it out. 4 out of 5 for me. So,
That's fair.
which averages out to about a 4.5. So you can put that right in the DVD box, guys.
Perfect.
Yep. All right. That's it, man. That's our hopefully as spoiler review as we could get it review of The Boys Diabolical, which is dropping on Amazon Prime on March 4th. So check it out. Let us know in the comments below what you think or what you think we got wrong or right. And we will hopefully see you soon. Of course, check out the podcast every week where you find podcasts. Check out our YouTube channel here for tons of reviews, content, and interviews. And I've been host, Joey DiCarlo, my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Adam Wallyhawk.
Always fun to talk TV.
That's right. We'll see you guys next time. Good journey.